Hello and welcome to A Collective Message. I'm really excited for today's video. We're just going to dive in. I don't really have anything else to say. If you want to watch any other collective videos, I do have those on my channel, and affirmation videos and other things. We're looking at the Five of Cups and the Nine of Pentacles right off the bat. Something to do with you working in the physical sense of moving on from analyzing. Like, when I say analyzing, I mean you think about it to a point where you're like dissecting whatever it is that has been a disappointment in the past, in sense of an emotional disappointment. It has been so strong, this disappointment, like so powerful. It moved you in the present moment to think about this emotional disappointment. Let me get descriptors of it. The Ace of Cups. This might be some kind of disappointment from the very beginning, from starting out on, what I'm getting is like you start out on this kind of journey and you have this idea that you're going to be fulfilled in this like emotional way, but then you realize that it doesn't fulfill you in the emotional way. The Lovers. So it's kind of like you're moving on from the past. The Wheel of Fortune flipped out in reverse though, and it landed over the Ace of Cups. It's kind of like, what I'm getting is that you're realizing that you can move on from the past and the past disappointments, and you are starting to create, how would I put this? You're starting to create movement again in terms of what was once a disappointment. It's either you're like looking at it in a new perspective, Page of Pentacles and Justice. Yeah, like you're realizing kind of how you can get to a win-win with the past disappointments. I'm getting also that it's like you're fulfilling those past disappointments with really looking at the choices that you're making in like today, every single day that's today. And you're realizing that some of these choices aren't actually benefiting you. And so those choices, you're looking at, how can I change from the choice I made to a different kind of choice, which will lead to a different outcome for me. The Nine of Pentacles, being able to appreciate what you have grown from the get-go. Being able to appreciate, what I'm getting more than anything is yourself. The Three of Swords is poking out. The Devil. Okay. So this has been something that has been like a result of kind of like what I'm getting is like you were making these choices and they kept bringing up the same result, or you kept getting the same result. But now you're realizing that you no longer need to think about heartbreak in the way that you have. Because it's like, what I'm getting is like, it was the only thing that you could focus on because it was so strong. The Two of Cups and the Nine of Cups. So it's like now you're realizing, oh, I don't always have to look at this as it's going to be a disadvantage. I can look at it as an advantage. I can find how I can get a win out of this, where in the past I didn't really feel like I got a win. The Three of Pentacles. King of Cups, King of Swords. So Now this is the time where you need to think in terms of, before you make any type of decision, focusing on your perspective of, focusing on your tone when you make a decision. Are you in a good mindset? Like, when I say good mindset, I mean, are you in a mindset that is mature and that you realize the choices that you have to make that will lead to a different outcome than before? Or are you in the mindset where you were before? I'm getting like looking at the lack, not really seeing the half cup full method, or whatever analogy, where, because it's like that, where you're like looking at things as if it is half empty instead of half full. When you look at things when it's half full, you're going to see more of the gratitude within the situation. Even if it is like, doesn't seem like it's at your advantage, there always will be some type of advantage from this. And it might be more than anything like you just experiencing how to learn your lessons, how to evolve from where you were before. Something about holding on and letting go. There's something that you're currently, let's see if I can get descriptors of the Four of Pentacles. Death. So there is something that you're holding on to right now, that would actually, if you were able to release it, would transform your life or improve your life, level up your life to a point where you feel this sense of freedom, like the Fool, instead of feeling like you have to hold on to everything that you feel is dear. I'm getting also that trust is something that to focus on when it comes to trusting you. Like, trust yourself. It's really hard though, because if you make decisions and it leads to like unfortunate outcomes, sometimes you could get really hard on yourself and being like, I should have done this, I should have done that, looking back. The Moon. So right now, to help you in terms of being able to release, focusing on dissecting the problem in terms of shadow work, being able to allow yourself to figure out what is this like emotion that you still haven't felt fulfilled right at the beginning. Like, focusing on that emotion that you feel like kind of let down. And what I'm getting is that what really kind of needs to happen is you need to acknowledge this part of you and hear this part of you out in a sense of unconditional hearing, like unconditional listening to it, not putting any type of judgment on yourself as you unveil this. And what will happen when you do unveil this? I'm getting more of like, you're going to be able to make decisions that more than anything will help lead you from this hesitation on understanding and like trusting how to move forward with your life, how to improve your life. The perspective of your emotional state, or just you, like of you, is so important in terms of building your empire, building whatever it is that you want to build for yourself. The Eight of Cups. Let me get a descriptor for that. The Two of Wands. So this is something that you've been searching for a while in terms of like moving towards the next destination when it comes to more than anything your mindset. Like, you have to have a certain type of mindset in order to build your life in a certain way. For instance, like, people who make a lot of money are going to be focused on improving their life in terms of, how would I put this? They have like a certain routine, right? So they start their morning a certain way, they end their day a certain way, and all the way that it's kind of made is to make sure that their mindset is on the game, that their mindset is like, you're like able to control whatever kind of chaos that you feel could be potentially consuming your life, and focus on what's really important. The Page of Swords and the Hermit. So there needs to be some type for you right now, some type of deep understanding. Like with the Hermit, it's definitely about going within in terms of not having any other influence. Like, you are studying by yourself, you're learning by yourself, and when you're able to do that, you're going to uncover why you felt certain hesitation with yourself, why it was always so hard. The Six of Pentacles. People pleasing just came to mind. The Chariot. Focusing, the habit of people pleasing, meaning that it's easier to think about other people than yourself when it comes to giving. Like, there is some type of blockage that I'm feeling, that it's like inside of you, there's some type of belief, some type of blockage that prevents you from seeing truly what it is, like truly what you are, truly what your life is, truly who you are. What needs to come right now also is resting on the habit more than anything of people pleasing. Definitely something that I relate to. It's so easy for me to want to help other people, but when it comes to helping me, it's like I myself have this inner resistance to help myself. When I said that, inner resistance, the Ten of Cups. So this is what's like being prevented when you people please, because people pleasing is really like, you're selfless to a point where you don't even like help yourself in terms of putting yourself first, like the airplane method, where you have to put on that mask before you help anyone else, because if you don't, you could die in the process and the person would die in the process, you know what I mean? So I'm totally getting it now. Okay, so if you don't help yourself in it, you are not like 100%, and you help other people, the help that you give won't be as great as it can be if you give yourself time to get to that 100% okayness. What I'm getting is really putting a rest to this idea that you have to continue to help other people, because it's leaving you like this. It's leaving you feeling burnt out. It's leaving you feeling like, I'm getting emotionally burnt out specifically, but burnt out in general, right? Because honestly, these two are giving me a little bit of opposite energies. Where was this? The Seven of Pentacles is like, you're appreciating what you have grown and you're admiring your garden, you're tending to it. And then this is, you're just like burnt out to a point where you can't even get up, because there's so much that's like, you feel like that's stabbing you in the back, that you kind of feel like disappointed to a point where you just give up. So, yeah. The Queen of Pentacles, appreciating what you've grown, like tending to your garden. So, when I was mentioning confirmation with what I'm about to say, when I was mentioning people who are like rich and like they make money, they set their morning up and their night up so that they have a successful day in between. That is what I'm getting would be really, really helpful for you, so that you can see in terms of doing something different with your routine. The High Priestess. High Priestess is talking about like beliefs, kind of like conditioning that you grew up with. Because when we grow and we grow into more of ourselves, the beliefs and the conditioning that we like grew up being conditioned and being told to believe in won't all fit with you as you continue to grow into more of an independent adult, independent person. And so this is the time, if you can do this, using your morning and using your night as a way to focus on you and no one else. It might be hard, especially if you're like me, where you go to social media or YouTube and you just want to hear someone else. It's really important to give yourself time to focus on you so that you can feel appreciated in all parts of you and not like you're being ignored by yourself. Yeah. The Six of Pentacles, is it? Yeah, the Six of Cups. So giving back, and honestly, this is a great way that you can give back to yourself in the past where you went through that disappointment. Because that disappointment happened in the past, but that feeling, that like emotional disappointment is still lingering on. This is a time to be able to focus on releasing those past disappointments. The Magician. Being able to allow yourself to use the knowledge that you have learned, the lessons that you have learned, and change your future today, like in today. Making a decision, saying, okay, I'm gonna give this a shot. Why not? And let's see what happens. Like, let's see what happens. The High Priestess again. So really though, I'm getting that this is about like you being able to work on something that you have wanted, that you have been working on for a very long time and you are focused on. I wonder if it is like you've been focused on improving your life. Page of Wands. Like this is something that you feel is like touching your soul. Like it's touching a part of you that's you without any of the kind of outside influence. That part of you, the Six of Wands, that part of you, like you have to take the responsibility in your hands. Like you have to be the mature leader and know that there are things that you're doing right now that's not benefiting you in the future, that's actually causing you to feel more uncomfortable in your life. And as much as you can, make it comfortable. It's kind of like if you still have a habit that doesn't work for you or it doesn't benefit you, then it's getting to a point where it's like you have to release that habit. You have to find a way. How can they find a way? 10 of Wands. it is going to be hard work, actually. Like, it's going to be hard work. It's not going to be something that's going to be like that. This is going to be, you have to dedicate yourself to a point where you take those offerings that you feel within you and you use that as a way to lead you. I wonder if it's like you feel a certain emotion, like, how would I put this? You feel a certain emotion with like an idea or whatever, and that's like the idea that you want to lead with, like you want to follow, you want to guide you. The 8 of Wands. No, the 7 of Wands. I love that. Because really, when you're able to allow yourself to, and it is hard because it's like, especially if you're someone who's like a perfectionist, you're thinking like, the perfectionist, at least for me, because I'm a perfectionist, or I'm working to not be so, is when you're a perfectionist, your perception of outcome is going to be a lot smaller and less open. It's actually going to, like, it causes you to feel like you don't, how would I put this? It causes you to actually feel this sense of you don't know where to go. Like, whatever is guiding you is actually causing you to hesitate and causing you to feel like you don't have a way to move forward. It like shrouds your optimistic ability to think that you are capable of whatever it is and you can handle it. The world. Yeah. So right now, with this collective message, for the collective, focusing on how you look at how you're handling your life and how you're judging yourself as well with what happened in your life. And if you do feel like you can't do it on your own, asking for help is something that is really great. It can allow, especially asking for help will allow you to feel like the situation isn't such a monster or isn't such a aggressive creature, but more like a pet, you know, more like a pet that you can calm down instantly. The 9 of Wands. The 5 of Swords. This is like the people pleasing, y'all. This is like all your ideas is about helping others. I wonder though if it's like you were focused so much on helping others, that's where a lot of this emotional disappointment came in. I'm hearing something about you just kind of submit to other people's demands and think that your demands or whatever, it's not important. Like, it's not worth it. The Queen of Wands and the Queen of Swords, y'all. Queens. Am I right? Queens. The Queen of Wands talks about letting in terms of like your mind, right? And the ideas, letting in without judging. Here, she's still holding the sword like it's a boundary, like it's some kind of protection tool. But her hand is welcoming in, saying, she's like, here's your sword. She's like, all right, tell me what you got. The Queen of Wands, she's focused on more so looking deep within and looking more at the past is what I'm hearing. More at the past, more at what was created from the past to now. The black cat also is like, it's coming out. It's like being pointed out to me. The black cat. Okay. And then the Ten of Pentacles. Allowing yourself to feel appreciated to a point where you could give appreciation to others too, because you have so much appreciation for yourself. Look at all the cards that we read today. So many. Okay. I think that's all I have for you guys. Thank you so much for joining me on another collective message. I will have another video up shortly. Until then, I hope you enjoy your life. And if not, sleep is really great too. I love sleep. Okay, until next time, see you later.